Okay, so gonna go over the trade I took today. Obviously, if you're looking at just this chart here with my risk reward tool drawn on, you're thinking I won the trade. However, that is not the case. It was a break-even trade, and rightfully so. I followed my rules. If you we'll go lower to the 1 minute, you'll see how choppy price was. I don't know how we didn't react off of the 15 minute to go a little bit higher. I know we took previous daily high by the time I entered this, and I know that we were in a deep premium, but the way that we chopped lower into this first 15 minute and then the second 15 minute, you would think that we would come for that liquidity at least to sweep it. Now, maybe there was an SMT with a yes, I'm not sure. Like if I go here quickly to the 1 minute just to see, no, there was nothing. So, but let's start on the daily. So coming into today, I was bearish. Reason being, price wasn't showing me any reason to be bullish. I know we swept this previous weekly low right here yesterday and had a decent reaction from there at the start of today. But there's nothing to come for higher. Like we tapped into this bearish jelly for value gap and went lower. So that's filled. There's nothing here to fill. If I go to the 4 hour, there's nothing on the 4 hour to fill. We filled this 4 hour here with this candle. We were chopping around here earlier in the session, like when I first got to the charts. So I was just looking for a continuation short. I didn't even know like where we would retrace back to, because now we're reacting off this 4 hour again, but this was already filled. So that wasn't really an area of interest for me. We're more so just reacting off the fact that we hit previous daily high. So I marked up previous daily high, previous daily low. Initially, my draw was previous daily low. I thought that's what we were going to go for. We end up pumping higher. And during this pump, I was willing to take a buy, but we got no retracement at all. I need to see us come into a 5 minute for a continuation trade at the very least, if not a 15 minute. And we just did not get that. You'll see we didn't even take the London low, and these are equal lows now, so this is probably what we're headed towards now, I would imagine. But we just pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped and never came back down to a 5 minute up until this very moment here. When we did reach this 5 minute here, there was just no setup. If you go to the 1 minute, you'll see there was no inversion, right? So that's that. There was no buying opportunity, even though we pumped quite a few points to the previous daily high. So then once we hit the previous daily high, I was willing to take some shorts because we left so many fair value gaps unfilled. This when I first entered, this 15 minute was not a thing yet. It had not formed. This candle hadn't closed yet. But we had this 15 minute down here that was unfilled, and this 15 minute down here. My target was this 15 minute because that was the 15 minute that was available to us at the time of me entering. And so that was my target. Now, if you go to the 5 minute, you're not going to see much. The 2 minute is where I entered. This was the highest time frame inversion in the leg, or fair value gap 2 inverse in the leg right here on the 2 minute. So once we did that, I entered with a market order closer to around like here. Let's see exactly where my entry was. Fuck it. Entry price 24,940.25. All right, close enough. That was my entry price. And as you can see, after I got in, I got a fill on the market order. We chopped around for quite a bit. And when we were chopping around, we formed this new 15 minute. So I held to this 15 minute. Once we had formed it, I said, you know what? I have to break even here, like, because we've been shooting up all day long. There's no reason why we couldn't just tap into this new 15 minute, not fill this one, and go higher, right? So my draw had to become tighter, and it became really tight. I mean, the new 15 minute was very close to my entry, so I figured once I broke even here, it was going to hit me, and it did right away, which is fine. But I had to adjust my risk on this trade, adjust how I was going to manage the trade once that new 15 minute opened. And yeah, I mean that's how you have to trade. There's no other way around it. Had I not adjusted my draw there, and had I not seen this new 15-minute form and was just oblivious to it, we could have very well just tapped into the new 15-minute and shot up from there, and I would have been stopped out. So I had to adjust how I was managing this trade once that new 15-minute opened up, and that was the trade. Now, as you can see, what I was mentioning before with the internal liquidity here, or not, well, not just low resistance liquidity is what I meant to say. I mean, that is some choppy, shitty price action unfolding there for us to just flush. But that's what we ended up doing. And yeah, that was the trade I took today. Ended up being a break even. Can't complain. There was no setup again for me to take a long, so that was fine. I sat on my hands that entire time, and my short did end up playing out, but just I had to manage the trade appropriately, and I did. I would have been disappointed in myself had I stayed in this trade knowing that we made a new 15-minute, knowing how high we had pumped, and knowing how easy it could have been for us to just react off this 15-minute for value up to then go higher. So that's that. You notice we left the devil's mark here somewhat. I mean, you scroll in a little bit further, you can see a tiny, tiny wick, but it's the devil's mark. We'll see what we end up doing. I mean, realistically, at this point, I'm thinking we're going for the equal lows at London. But yeah, that was today's trade.